Hello, and welcome back to Wild Sun Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne. Please like and share. The most important thing, I think, is sharing these videos with your friends so that you can, send this stuff back and forth to each other in the mail. I mean, wouldn't this be a really cool little book to get in the mail? So, this is book 3. This is, I think, video 5 of the single page, 1 page journal. And this is my show and tell, the second show and tell. This book, you can tell I made out of a piece of grocery bag, and actually what I did, it was a regular big size grocery bag, and I just cut off the bottom and cut up the middle of the back to make one enormous page. And I think I folded it 8 folds down the length and 4 folds the height of the bag. So for decorating this book, I made a little bird. I cut 2 bird shapes. I folded down a flap to sort of make the tail more recognizable, and I folded down one of the wings and I glued them together. So that's kind of how you get that. This is another spear hinge with paper punches and pieces of feather. And in this one, I also used lots of paper cuts. And there is a kind of Zentangle that's called a dangle. And it's as if little shapes hung from a thread. So I had made... I was doing the stacking little shapes, and I had all these little shapes made, and I thought, oh, what if I make and then glue down the dangle? So I took a piece of black thread and glued it under the top one, kind of stretched it down, glued the bottom one, and then added a couple extras. So these are all paper punches, a little gold circle, a red heart, more circles, a diamond. So that's that. And all of the cards in the pockets in this whole book have paper cuts on them. That was kind of fun. I just spent, I don't know, many hours sitting here making lots and lots of cards and paper cuts. So I made lots of spear hinges in this journal. More flower petals, paper punches, paper cuts, spear hinges, sorry. More paper cuts. Oops. No. Don't get stuck. More paper cuts. That one's kind of pretty. I like it. I mean, I usually like them all. And there is a special cut here, and I wanted to show you that. So let's see. You know what? I'm just going to use this piece of paper. The way I made this shape, and to me, this looks very much like a Christmas ornament. And so far, I haven't used them as anything but an ornament. So, oh, actually, I don't want to make it on this. I want to make it on this, which is brown paper bag that I crumpled up, And then I have these crayons, Faber-Castell, and they're metallic, which is kind of fun. I don't know if we're going to get this in the light, or if you have to be here, but they're little tiny sparkles in there. Anyway, so the way to do this is to fold your paper in half, and that's why this is symmetrical, because I folded the paper in half. And then starting at the top, let's do sort of a big cut and then a little triangle and then a spear, and you get that shape. And what I did here, let's see if I can show you, is I cut out the crayon paper and then I glued it onto black paper and just cut an echo or a ripple cut around that, and then I glued it onto red paper and cut an echo cut around that, and then I added these circles on top. So I am going to put this paper cut right there. Let's see if I can remember to put that in. So we'll just call those an ornament cut. So there are some sideways cards in this book as well. I really got very decorative with this one. There's one black star punch and then a different red punch. And lots of circles. And I don't know why I got some writing on the bag, but I'm hoping that the paper cut takes your eye away from the writing. So here's another ornament cut. Hey, I haven't decorated that. Gracious. Well, I have some, and I haven't decorated this one either with more little punches. And here's some more dangles. And another ornament cut. And another hinge that needs to be decorated, and more cards for journaling. 3 more dangles. And a dangle, and this is where I will put this last paper cut. Only, you know what? Maybe I will put it this way. So there's that one. Yeah, there's actually still a lot to be done on this book. I didn't realize that. And then this next book, this is the yellow paper book. Are you ready? This is like super decorated. And it's very alligator mouthy. So I had really kind of done a whole lot of decorating on these first 2 books, the teal colored one and the brown paper red one. And I thought, I can't think up anymore, which is silly. Of course I can. What am I going to do? I've already used up a lot of my favorite things, the ornament and the dangle and the hinge paper cut and the regular paper cuts and stacked decorations, and what am I going to do now? So I remember standing there yesterday morning thinking, just ask the question. So I said, okay, what could I possibly do on this yellow book? And remember, then it was just plain yellow. There was nothing in it. And I thought, my first question was, what colors? And I thought, well, I could do you know, reds and oranges and yellows, all these warm colors. And I thought, but I just did a lot of red in this book. I don't want to use red anymore. Excuse me. So I thought, well, what if I just use yellow? I know I have a bunch of different colors of yellow, like a very pale yellow, and this is kind of an ochre yellow, and this is kind of a brilliant yellow, and this is a very ochre yellow. And I thought, well, what's yellow? And I thought stars. So there I got my theme of stars, and I got my colors going. Just having the color helped me get the theme. And then I sort of flew from there. So in this one, I took my 1 point micron pen, and I traced the spear hinge rather than doing all of these stacked ornaments on it. So, and then here's my stars. And what I did was I have some gold tinfoil that I found on Amazon. It's used for deli, like wrapping up a sandwich after you've made it or something like that. But of course, I don't need it to wrap sandwiches, but I definitely need it. Look at the shine to make stars with. And then I thought, I was looking through an old journal for some more ideas, and I saw this pin pricking idea. So at the end, I'm going to show you pin pricking, but let me get through this first. So here's another hinge that I drew on. And the cards in this book are white, so there's lots of room for very easy journaling. And I had all these, from cutting out the stars, I had all these kind of pokey shards. So I used them as little sprays of starlight to come up off the journaling page. So all of the pockets in this journal have little sprays of starlight coming off of them. And the pages are very similar. There's a star that is backed with one color of yellow, and then there's the pin pricking other color of yellow. So more drawn, doodled hinges, and more stars, and more cards up top. And so we keep going. I love this big one. See the pin pricking? Does that make a really cool edging? And it's very textural too. It's very fun to run your hands over these. There's a little bit of room for the odd piece of journaling in here. So let me show you how to do the pin pricking. Let's put this kind of there. You can barely see it. I do my pin pricking on blue board, and we've talked about this before. I use these boards. This is 1-inch blue board. I use these boards as painting boards because I don't care what gets on them. They're very light. This is just styrofoam. The blue board comes in 4x8 sheets. Sorry. And it makes pin pricking. Can you tell? It makes pin pricking really easy. And even though I have all these pin pricks in it, I can still put a piece of paper or a stretch canvas or something on this and paint on it and get more paint on it. It still carries the function of of being a good paint board. So here's my star. I'm going to turn it over because the pinpricks push out towards the back. So I'm actually going to end up gluing it to the back. So this is this is one of my, this is wider awls. I have another awl that just has a skinnier wire, but I'm decided that I would use the big pinpricks, and they're kind of smushing easily. So this is a very old decorative technique. Let's see if I can get this a little bit better in view. I start in the hollow of the star because I like having a pinprick for sure right in the corner there. And then I just poke holes. Sorry for the squeakiness. There is a lot of squeakiness. My daughter hates this sound. So if you don't like this squeakiness either, please mute your sound a little until I get through with this part and then turn it back on. So I start here and make a line of pricks out to the point. Start in the middle. There we go. All right, now you can turn your sound back on. And the thing I did, there's that wonderful texture. Let me take that away. And first I'm going to glue this in. So I was saying that I've seen this pin pricking idea done at the top of a letterhead of when people sent each other letters, like in the 1700s. And then I would glue that in right into the center. Yeah, so at the top of a letterhead, people would like pinprick their initials or a little flower, and then they'd write their letter. And it was just a little textural, pretty thing at the top of the letter. So, more mail art, colonial mail art. And then we just cut it out. See how I get little pointy shards. we doing? We're at 20 minutes. Boy, I'm glad I split this into 2 videos. So then I decide where that's going to fit, and I don't want to glue over the pocket, so I put my finger right there. And then I just glue the back. Sorry, I keep pulling this too close to me and not close enough to you. Just make sure it's inside the fold. And there we go. It's going to need some encouragement to be squished. But anyway, there is my last book. So here is my plethora of 1-page books. I hope that I have completely filled up your imagination with lots of things to do. My blessing wish for us this last video in this little quick series is, may your imagination never fail you. May you, given a little bit of quiet downtime, always be able to think up all kinds of creative answers to whatever your questions are. And me too. Alrighty. So I wish you lots of fun and lots of noise and lots of sparkly imaginations. And I will see you next time, which I think will probably be another postcarding video. All right, bye.